All right. So we are on tutorial number dos or tres or catorce, whichever one they plan on. So we're going to go over the proper form and technique for squats, which is a big one. It's one of the big three, which are bench, squat, deadlift. It's probably the more taxing of any lift that you can do. It's a full body lift. So what do you think of when you think of doing squats? Working your legs, working your glutes?
Pain. Lots of pain.
Nice Rocky 2 quote, or no, Rocky 3 quote. But yeah, it's like people think of it to be painful and hard. So if you're not training correctly and you're not doing your periodization correctly, which a lot of us do, I do it too. Like, it's male ego, right? Or female ego. I don't want to forget about half of our society. But the ego is like, you can do more. You should be doing more. Man, strong, yell, right? But reduce the weight and make sure you're doing your form correct, because perfect practice makes perfect. So what you want to do? First, this bar is too low, but it's better to start with your bar too low than too high.
Can I just say one more thing before you get into the technique,
Yes, sir.
Coach, is when I first started doing squats, I didn't like them because of the pain, like I was saying, but then they became my favorite exercise, all-time favorite exercise, because of the challenge. Every time you met that squat, it was like meeting that old friend who, you know exactly what it feels like, you know exactly what kind of mindset you have to be in order to get under the bar, how much intra-abdominal pressure you needed as you come down, your breathing pattern. It's just like a meditation where you completely get into the moment. So, Coach Hurd,
Yes.
have you had that similar thing where it becomes like a rewarding thing after a while?
So I've a little history about me. I've been lifting pretty much my whole life. In high school, took the weightlifting class that you get when you're a sophomore and loved it, but I hated squats because it feels like your knees are about to explode. And it like everything about it feels wrong, and you hear all these old wives' tales that it's got spinal compression and you're gonna get fractures in your shins. What's the other one? You're gonna slip a disc, you'll get a hernia.
For kids, it'll stunt your growth.
Yeah, it'll stunt your growth. Every single kid that I've known as an adult now who lifted weights as a child are huge. They're all like 6'18".
It's the best thing they ever did.
Yeah, it's like, okay, well, that was a lie.
Yeah.
But that's before we knew that your growth is determined by hormones and not by bones. But so, like all that stuff. And then recently, I'd say within the past 3 years, I discovered that I had never done a squat in my life. I was always doing these really high, shallow squats. That actually is bad for your hips. I was shooting my knees, and that's very bad for your knees when your knees go over your toes. So I was having not really having, but I would hear my knees click. I was doing the male ego thing, like racking up 3 plates, which is 315, and trying to do a squat and moving down like a quarter. It was like I was barely moving like any weight, but because heavy is heavy. There's a point to where whether you got 135, 225, or 405, it's heavy. It doesn't matter. And up here feels like down here. and it doesn't matter. So I always say, when you're training, train light. Don't try and go full bore on what you can get 1 or 2 reps of. Train to what you're struggling with 5 and try to get to 7. Right? So to go on with the technique, once again, rather the bar be too low than too high, because you don't want all this weight on your back that could literally cripple you and have to get on your tippy toes. So this is about at my nipple range. Optimally, it would be right here at my upper back, but this is fine. And also I'm being lazy, and it's not a heavy weight.
So you don't want to get up on your toes to get underneath the bar.
No,
right?
sir, you do not want to get on your toes.
Yeah.
And just like with deadlift, every inch and every centimeter matters, and you don't want to be squishy. You don't want to have anything that's throwing off your balance. So no running shoes, either Chucks, Vans, what have you, or just take the shoes off. A lot of gyms won't let you do that because of insurance. So if you drop a dumbbell on your toe, you can legitimately sue. But this area is only a squatting area, so you have to try really hard to hurt yourself over here. So I'm just gonna take my shoes off. Hi, can I take my shoes off? Yes, you may take your shoes off. Okay, so I got approval from the gym owner. And So you have these grooves right here on the bar, right in the knurling. You want to get your index finger, if you're as tall as I am, right on the knurling. Get under the bar. Now, if you can get behind me, Coach, so they can see what's going on with the back. If you notice, my shoulder blades are pinched together. My elbows are pulled in. They're not all out here. I'm not loose. Everything's nice and tight. Then inhale in. Now, you see people rush out and do these really far movements. You see them come all the way out here. No, we're not going to do that. So, I got my bar up. Then, just take a very small step so I'm just out of the rack. All right? My feet, shoulder width apart. Or you can do sumo if that's how you work. But I have narrow hips, so shoulder width apart. Then inhale in. Come all the way down, hips below knees. If you want to go all the way down, that's fine as well. This way you know you got your full rep. But right here is fine. And then, so you inhale, and then you do not exhale until you know you have the lift. Until you are, I'd say, about 90% of the way up, you do not start breathing out. So, notice I'm not going, that doesn't help your lift. That's just annoying. Doesn't help at all.
That's awesome. Everything from the form to the actual breathing pattern, and to hold the breath at the bottom and not let it out till the top. That keeps the intra-abdominal pressure inside, so your core is very strong and tight. It's like wearing a weight belt. Your actual biological weight belt, which is your transverse abdominis, keeps it engaged.
Yes, and about weight belts, they do help.
Yeah.
I love belts. If and when you decide to come on to Oceanside Elite, I will eventually ask you to buy a belt. I'll let you know which ones are the best. Don't go to Walmart and get that little cheap one with a padding on the inside. You don't want to put a belt on until you're about 75% of your backs. So when you're like, say you are 125 pounds and you are doing your squats and you can do 10 reps at 185, you can do 5 reps at 225, but at 250, you get a little sketchy. That's when you want to start buying a belt. When you are significantly over your body weight and you know you can get 3 or 4 reps, but it's starting to get hard, that belt's it's biofeedback is the word. It reminds you, when you get down and that's not digging into your body, you're like, oh crap, I didn't breathe enough. So that's what the belt's for. It doesn't aid in the lift, it aids in your breathing. So you don't have it on super tight unless you're going ridiculous weight. I don't even tighten my belt until, my 1 rep in meet, my last meet was 248, that's cute, was 348. I didn't even tighten my belt until I was about 350, 330. So that's when you start tightening your belt. You don't just get a belt to wear it. And I know a lot of people like to wear belts with curls, but it's stupid. Anyway, I'm digressing.
Awesome. So the squat is something that's gonna take time, but if you work on it, you get the technique down, you'll become stronger at it, your body's gonna change. Once again, build muscle, burn fat, feel better, have that strong mindset. Coach Hurd, thank you very much.
Not a problem. You guys, perfect practice makes perfect. Have a great day.